Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because we're going on a huge adventure today, and it's one of my most anticipated adventures of the year. This weekend is the New Jersey barn crawl, and essentially a barn crawl is like a bar crawl or a pub crawl, but instead of crawling for alcohol, we're gonna be crawling for fiber. It's all about visiting local farmers, visiting local homesteaders, and just seeing what they're all about, getting tours of their property, seeing their animals, seeing what kind of products they produce, and I could not be more excited. This event is put on by the New Jersey Fibershed, which is a nonprofit that's dedicated to kind of like connecting all the fiber makers and fiber lovers of New Jersey and creating a giant community. I think in total there are 7 barns participating today, but I don't think there's a chance of me hitting all of them, like literally at all, because they're really far apart. But I'm gonna try to hit as many as I can, which does mean that today's gonna have like a lot of driving involved, but it's okay, it's totally worth it. Another thing also is that the weather says it's gonna be really bad today. It says it's gonna be like 75 with a very high likelihood of lightning, which basically just means like hot and wet and humid, which is not ideal, but I think regardless, it's gonna be super fun. I'm actually right now in a parking lot of a Dunkin' Donuts because I needed to get some fuel for both my car and for myself. And then I'm off on my first destination of the day, which is actually the house of the director of the New Jersey Fibershed. Her name's Anne. We've kind of become friends over the course of this year, so I'm really excited to make her house my first stop. And then from there, we'll just see where I end up. So let's do it. My first stop was Middlebrook Fiberworks in Bedminster, which is owned by the director of the New Jersey Fibershed, Anne Choi. And even though it was muggy and drizzly, we still had a beautiful time exploring her farm. She toured us around her garden and showed us all the unique treats she's growing, which we got to taste. And there's nothing more joyful than standing in a garden and sampling fresh foods. Actually, there might be one thing that's better. We put on our safety booties to make sure we don't spread anything from farm to farm. And then we got to meet Anne's flock of Shetland sheep. Indoors, there were a bunch of tiny structo looms that were threaded for any barn crawlers who wanted to give weaving a try. And there were also some community tapestry looms, which I added a bit to. And then, of course, there was yarn to buy. I did end up buying a few special things over the course of the day to both add some more local fiber to my collection and also to show my support and gratitude to these amazing small businesses for opening their barns and creating such fun experiences for us during this barn crawl event. Okay, my first farm is checked off the list. I got 2 skeins of yarn. Going into this, I knew I wanted these 2 skeins of yarn. They were like the only thing on my like must get list. It's just so special when it's like your friend's yarn. You know, you meet her sheep, you get to know her, you get to know more about her life, and then you get to buy this like really special thing that she worked super hard on. And I just think there's magic to that. Anyway, we're now heading over to the next farm, which is about 25 minutes away. So I'll see you there. The next stop was Windswept Sheep in Branchburg, which specializes in Romney and Dorset sheep and products made from their wool. But they also opened their barn to numerous other local vendors, so there were lots of different types of fibers and preparations to ooh and ah at. You guys know, I just can't resist an Angora rabbit. After browsing the vendors' wares, I headed out to the pasture to visit the sheep, and they were so cute with their little coats.
Hello.
These coats protect their fleeces and keep them nice and clean. Just chilling with the sheep. right, tiny haul from Windswept Sheep. I got this bat that is a New Jersey blend of Romney from this farm, alpaca from Hidden Pastures, which is on this barn crawl adventure, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to go today because they're pretty far, but I actually visited them a couple vlogs ago. So Romney, alpaca, and then farm Angora from this wonderful woman that I was just talking to who let me pet her Angora bunnies. And this bat is just so pretty. I love a good mix of natural fibers, and this is just like a beautiful gray brown. It kind of has like a little bit of red to it, and it is so soft. This is gonna be a perfect project to bring with me on some of my like spinning group meetings, and I'm really excited to work with this. And of course, I got a picture of the bunny that the Angora came from. Isn't that so cute? Anyway, to the next farm.
My next stop was Hardscrabble Farm in Stockton, and this farm also specializes in Shetland sheep. I had a wonderful time chatting with the extremely kind owner of this farm and exploring her beautiful Shetland fleeces. It's so interesting to me how fleeces can vary so much from animal to animal, even if they're the exact same sheep breed. Here at Hardscrabble, these fibers are often hand spun into beautiful yarns, which are then hand knit into these stunning lace shawls. I'm just in awe. And then, of course, I got to meet the sheep.
Alright, tiny little Hardscrabble farm haul. I got this bag of Shetland roving. It is just like a really pretty kind of like taupey, maybe beige color, and it is so soft. It's prepared so nicely, and I got to meet the sheep that made it, which is always the most wonderful thing in the world. There are literally so many reasons why I love this event. I think it's so much fun to like see people's houses and walk around their property and experience like their passions are, like whether it's animals, whether it's fiber prep, whether it's like a combination of things, gardening, you name it. I just love talking to inspiring people who make amazing things. Like this farm in particular, I just like chatted with the farmer for a really long time, and she was just like the absolute nicest person. She introduced me to her chickens. We got to see their eggs. Yeah, I'm having a blast. So anyway, on to the next farm. I just actually looked it up, and the next farm is about 50 minutes away from this one. I've been driving already quite a lot today, and I've been having a lot of fun like picking a musical that's going to be like my soundtrack for my journey. So I just wanted to share with you that for my first 3 farms, I listened to the entirety of the Book of Mormon soundtrack, and now I think I'm going to do maybe Sunset Boulevard. I'm just finding that like such a joyful way to make time feel like it's going by a little bit faster when I'm on the road for a while. I'm not really someone who can like do podcasts or audiobooks. Like they don't really grab my attention when I'm driving. I feel like they just kind of make me sleepier. But like a musical blasting at full volume, like especially a musical that I'm really familiar with and can like sing along to, like that has just been perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna put something on. I'm gonna do this long ass drive over to the next farm, and I'll see you there. My next stop was Windy Farm Alpacas, which specializes in alpaca yarns and fibers, of course. First, I visited their shop, which had a huge assortment of homegrown alpaca items for sale.
I went deeper into the barn to visit the animals that made these beautiful fibers. And they were freshly sheared, so their necks and bodies were all skinny looking, which is always just so funny to me.
I know, you're pretty. Yeah, I like you too.
They even had tons of food available for us to hand feed them, which of course was an opportunity I could not turn down.
So from Windy Farm Alpacas, I got this like really interesting amount of alpaca fiber. There's a natural orange, there's a natural kind of like off-white, and then this turquoise blended in. And I thought this could be just like a really interesting spinning project. It is so soft. And of course, petting the alpacas and seeing their fiber is just such a treat. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I have one more farm that I want to try to go to. It should just be like a couple minutes from here, which is great. So yeah, I'll see you there.
My last stop of the day was Homebody Farm in Chesterfield. This was a farm that predominantly grows produce, eggs, and cut flowers, and they had 3 alpacas to serve as guard animals to protect their chickens. And their names are Bruce, Doc, and Carl. I spent a really long time chatting with the farmer and learning all about what it's like to have such a big, sustainable growing operation, which was really fascinating.
Alright, I just finished my last stop, and this one is actually really great. I didn't film a whole bunch just because I was mostly chatting with people. The farmer here was really nice. He showed me around, told me all about his like gardening methods and things he's learned over time, and it was just like a joy to talk to him. I got one skein of 100% alpaca fiber. Of course, this is from the alpaca named Bruce. And then also I asked him, I'm like, okay, what's your favorite crop that you grow? Because they grow so much stuff here. And he was like, oh, daikon radish. And I was like, I've had that before, like at Asian restaurants, but I've never worked with it myself. I thought it might be an interesting thing, so got some radishes. Anyway, this was an absolutely joyful day. I truly love this event so much because it's such a fun opportunity to just like get to know the community, get to know people around me, to see how people do the really cool things they do to pet some animals. I know I've said this a bunch, but I'm just like continuously in awe of how much there is to do here in New Jersey relating to like fiber and fiber adjacent things. And being a part of that has just been so wonderful. Anyway, I'm gonna head home now. I just wanted to thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope it was fun to tag along. I'm gonna leave links to all the farms that I went to today in case you're in search of some really cool American-made products. And hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!